Good morning everyone, nice and early. So today we're going to the capital of the Republic of Ireland, which is Dublin. Come with us on our way.
By the way, welcome back to the channel. We are actually going to Dublin because we have to go to Belfast. As I told you previously, if you watched the video about us with my mom here in England, Richard has to go to Belfast to get his passport because he basically ran out of pages yeah. So here we are, and the weather is extremely beautiful. I like it. I know you don't, but I do. I love when it's foggy, I tell you.
We are really excited that we are flying today to Ireland. That is a place that I really enjoyed when I went there on my first time last year in October. So I believe that we're going to have a wonderful and amazing experience. I would like to share some historical information with you. Do you know that the first crossing from mainland Great Britain to Ireland by air took place on the 22nd of April 1912? Departing at 5:47 a.m, Dennis Corbett Wilson flew his Blériot 11th from Goodwick, Pembrokeshire, Wales, across St George's Channel and landed in Ireland 1 hour and 40 minutes later, with 7 days of difference of the wreck of the Titanic.
So guys, this is the weather that we've got right now in Dublin. We are getting wet.
But of course, there is nothing that a pint of beer cannot fix. Therefore, to Ireland.
By the way, this is very naughty of me to be drinking this beer. Since I've got seborrheic dermatitis, I've got an allergy to yeast. But because it is our first day, we can celebrate it with a nice Guinness. So this is the bus that is going to take us from Dublin to Belfast. Here we go.
Almost 2 hours later, we left the Republic of Ireland, and right now we are in Northern Ireland, which is part of Britain. Our plan for the rest of the day is to get to our hotel and just settle in and relax. Tomorrow we are going to have a great day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning everyone. So today is our first morning here in Belfast, the capital of Northern Ireland. And we're extremely excited because we really want to go around the whole entire city. It is really beautiful, and I have to say up front that it is not less beautiful than Dublin, because I know that many people think that probably Dublin is a lot better. Well, it's not, because I've been now to both, so I can personally say it, so it's not. They are even. Now that I've said that, I would like to say that today we are planning on going to two places. We are potentially going to see only just one because we might not have time for the second place. But first, we would like to start our day by going to the castle of Belfast, which is basically in the outskirts of the city. And we are going to see how to get there. And yeah, so look at this amazing building behind me. By the way, I realized that all the buses here are basically fuchsia, and that is a very interesting color. But I suppose that because of the weather, they wanted to have like more bright colors.
They want to brighten up people's spirits. So, luckily for us, there's no charge today because the machine isn't working. Another great start to the day.
Let us give you a piece of advice. If you are like us because you don't want to get on a boring city tour bus, just get on a normal city bus, double deck, get to the top and enjoy the view. Read the history yourself. And this is going to be a cheaper experience and much more fun. And you won't get someone talking that then you basically end up sleeping and you miss half of the tour. As soon as you leave the center, you can see the nature that surrounds the city. It is rather magical, and it makes you feel like if you are in the book of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbits.
So guys, we finally got to the place. We got actually bus number 1F from the center to get to the suburbs, and I have to say that the scenery that you basically see from the bus is just surreal, out of this world. And Richie and I, we were just talking how similar the landscapes here are to Chile in La Patagonia. In southern Chile, it is absolutely beautiful. The city is basically surrounded by these lovely hills, and it's kind of like foggy, and yeah, it's just like majestic. We finally got to the Cave Hill Park, where the castle is located, near the hills. So basically, we were told by some locals that probably this way is the best way to get there. Although we are planning to come down maybe this way because there are more trees on the way back. And we are loving the place because it is extremely green. And yeah, there is plenty of trees and flowers all over the place.
This is something I have to admit, that in Northern Ireland, all the locals that we've come across are so friendly. They want to help us with any questions we have, and there was a group of dog walkers, and we asked which is the best way to the castle, and they all had a different opinion, but we decided to go this way as this is like the most scenic route.
If you don't believe in fairy tales, coming to this park is going to change your mind. Every corner in this place is like if it was taken out of a fairy tale story, just like the Cinderella or Rapunzel. And with all of you, the iconic and extraordinary Belfast Castle. This beauty was built in the 1860s, and it is one of the city's most famous landmarks. It is also believed that right here an earlier structure was erected by the Normans in the 12th century when they reached Ulster, which is the name for Northern Ireland. I've got good news for those ones who dream of getting married in a lovely magical place like this. The castle functions as a venue for conferences, functions, and of course, weddings. Well, now you know where you can make your dreams come true. You can come to Belfast Castle and mark that important day in one's life.
We're back in the city and we are extremely hungry. We are starving and we want to find a place where to have lunch.
For lunch we were advised to have an Irish stew. They said it was tasty and delectable, and we must admit that it was much better than what they said, made of potatoes and lamb.
It's so amazing to be in the place where Titanic was built. And I have to say that from an English point of view, we do have this concept that Belfast is somewhat of a rundown and, you know, let's say underdeveloped city. But this has proved me wrong by coming here to see what amazing developments are underway, and to see the fact that this city is booming, growing, and getting better every single day.
As you know, Belfast is related to the iconic and historical Titanic. Yes, so this is basically where the same ship was built by Northern Irish hands. And we are basically by the port where there is a museum, by the way, which is like the most, I suppose, the most complete museum regarding the Titanic and the history of this ship, you know, like when it departed to America, to New York, but unfortunately it sank in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. in any case, we are going to see the dock as well where it was built, the exact place where it was built. So this is kind of like a privilege for us to actually see this.
First of all, this is not to do an advert to Subway, but can you imagine we got 2 coffees, well, let's say each coffee and a cookie for only £2, so £4 for both. I think that's a pretty good deal considering the prices of the city. Anyway, I must say that I feel very privileged that my eyes are going to see the actual place where Titanic set off on its maiden voyage
And was made.
and was made over 100 years ago. For me, that's something that is just absolutely incredible, and I'm speechless. And I really hope that, you know, the museum is worth it.
And not that expensive.
Not that expensive, because if not, we're not going to pay.
Even though many relate the horrific event of the wreck of the Titanic with the fictitious love story of Rose and Jack, that was a way of enhancing the film. The real story was the much bewildering and terrifying, ending the lives of 1,500 people in one night on the 15th of April 1912. Titanic Belfast is a visitor attraction opened in 2012, a monument to Belfast's maritime heritage on the site of the former Harland and Wolff shipyard in the city's Titanic Quarter, where the RMS Titanic was built.
We just went to buy some souvenirs and we got this kind of like plate, you know, to have it at home. And we got 2 books, 1 each. And these are basically real stories of real survivors of the Titanic. And this is what we're going to read. So this is for me, which is A Night to be Remembered. And this one is called Titanic First Accounts. So, yeah. We finally got to the dock from where the Titanic departed, and this is extremely incredible. And by the way, there was a cafe there, but they are refurbishing it, and it looks a little bit run down, but obviously it is really old. And imagine that many years ago, there were like people here waiting to get on board to go to New York. Imagine in 1912, what a thing. That is history, obviously. That is part of history. And here we are, more than 100 years later. How do you feel?
Well, I just feel that this is a historical place to be located in, to see the place where the Titanic set off on its maiden voyage, and to think that...
Very sad.
But it's
Because
also
then you
sad.
think that,
Yeah.
imagine it sank basically in the middle of the Atlantic and more than 1,500 people died. I mean, and they didn't die just because they were obviously in the water, they died because it was extremely cold. And I cannot imagine a death like that to be basically stranded in the middle of the ocean and dying from the cold.
And to think that the Titanic disaster could have been averted if they hadn't sped up so much to get to New York earlier than was to schedule.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's good morning. So today is supposed to be our second morning here in Belfast, and we woke up with the amazing news that the King and the Queen Consort of England are coming to Belfast. So this is something that is extremely unexpected. Actually, they say on the news that it was really unexpected. And yes, we just happen to be here, and we are going to try to see if we can get a glimpse, at least, of all this parade and stuff.
The question is, are they coming to see us or are we coming to see them?
So guys, right now we are in front of the city council, and this is one of the places where the king is supposed to be throughout the day. In fact, first he's going to St. Anne's Cathedral. There is a lot of security, and they say that they are expecting crowds. So we are extremely excited.
Following the death of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the new king, King Charles III, decided to pay a visit to Northern Ireland. In my very own opinion, the death of the Queen was something really devastating for the country. However, it is really beautiful to see the crowd standing here waiting to see the new monarch of Great Britain, Northern Ireland and the Commonwealth. We also decided to go to St. Anne's Cathedral to see if we could get a picture of him and the Queen. It's very hard to see who they are, but actually it's Liz Truss, the Prime Minister of the country, and the monarchs. It was rewarding to see the cheering crowd trying to get a picture of the new monarchs. However, it was really annoying because I couldn't get nearer.
So guys, now we're about to have some typical Irish potato bread, which I've never tried and I'm really looking forward to having, with a nice slice of bacon and brown sauce. I got my new passport. I'm over the moon because at last I can travel to countries where they ask for like 6 blank pages. In the past I didn't have that, but now I do, and I'm very proud of being British.
Right now we are about to go to the bus station here in Belfast to go to Dublin, because today we're going to the Irish capital in the Republic of Ireland, and yeah, we are really excited. We're going to have one day there, or half a day I think, because tomorrow we are flying out of the country. Rachel is going to Geneva, and myself I'm going back to Barcelona. Right now we are by the spire of Dublin behind me, and basically I was just telling Rachel that I was here 1 year ago, to be specific. Actually almost a year ago, because I was here in October. Right now it is September, but anyway it's kind of like very near. The point is that I cannot believe that a year has basically gone by so quickly. Right now we are in the very heart of Dublin. We are by the Christ Church Cathedral, and yeah, I was just telling Richly like that a year ago was like basically standing in this majestic religious temple.
Right behind me is the iconic St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is a very special cathedral for all people around the world. It's named after the patron saint of Ireland, St. Patrick. In the US, many people come here to visit this cathedral because they have a very big connection with St. Patrick and all the traditions surrounding it. Did you know that in Ireland there are lots and lots of clovers? Clover is like a little plant with 3 leaves. However, if you find a clover with 4 leaves, this is considered to be lucky.
Welcome to Dublin Castle, constructed in the early 13th century on the site of a Viking settlement. Dublin Castle served for centuries as the headquarters of the English and later British administration in Ireland. Sadly, we are not going to be able to get into the castle since it is rather late and we've got only a day here. However, if you are interested, you can go and check my other video about Dublin. There is no doubt that Dublin is one of the most fascinating European capitals. Therefore, you would need up to a week in order to see the whole entire city. If you happen to have only 1 day in Dublin like us, I would recommend you to walk down the River Liffey. It is a very interesting walk. You are going to see new and old buildings together, which is an example of how Dublin has been innovating over the years. Down the river, you will find the Famine Memorial. It is in remembrance of the Great Famine that took place in Ireland between 1845 and 1849, which saw the population of the country halved through death and immigration. Good morning everyone. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of this vlog. We would like to thank you for staying tuned until the end of this vlog. And remember, if you liked the video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and to give us a thumbs up. See you next time on a new adventure.